Hi, this is Dave Gumberline. This is June 9th at the University of Minnesota Shotokan Karate Club. And we have people here in person, hopefully people on Zoom, and it's being recorded for asynchronous training for anybody that wants to train along. So thank you for joining us. Normal line, but overweight. We don't have to do the 16th thing anymore, unless people really want to. Do they want to? Slide down. Yeah. So many great. Sensei great. Yep. So as you may know, I'm going to go teach at a summer camp. Not this weekend, but next weekend. So I will miss Wednesday. I'll miss a week from today. But Bob Delmops will be here to teach you. Please come, be enthusiastic. Pick up one foot, go around with your ankle and toes. Switch, away. Other foot. Other way. Feet together. Knees. Other way. Feet apart. On your hips. Other way. Use your legs, pump your arms around. Switch. Cross. Twist. Go to heels. In front, swing your back leg up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Switch feet. Kick a little harder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Squatting. Put your hands in the floor, straighten your legs, squat, straighten, squat, straighten, squat, straighten, and squat. Feet out behind you, arch. Pushing back, touch your chest to the floor, height, feet bump your foot in. Again. Pull your feet in. Squatting. Keep it up. Pushing down and forward. Back. Forward. Back. Forward. Back. Forward, back, reach over one shoulder, switch, side, switch, around with your torso and breathe, around, stop. Straighten the leg. Switch. 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 Switch, drop down. Switch. 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 And switch. Road all the way over. Switch the outside. 5. Back. Over. Back. Over. Back. Over. And back. Switch. All the way over. Switch the other side of the thigh. Back. Over. Back. Over. Back. Over. Back. Over. And back. Pull your feet in. Squatting. Straighten your legs and stretch down. Roll up. On through hips. Switch. Side, side. Squeeze. One knee over your chest. Switch. 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 And switch. Reach your arm behind and grab it. Pull. Switch. Switch. And switch. Straight over legs. Turn to your uniform. A little bit of training and then we will hit some things. I don't want to kill us all, and yet we should be able to move and sweat and train. So it's been a while. Feet together, bend your knees, put your hands out at your own solar plexus height. Pick up one knee, put it down, and pick up the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Front kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On grips. Maybe stretch this way a little bit. Switch. 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 Try some side snaps. Don't kick too high, just warm it up. One side and the other side and the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other hips again. Try roundhouse kicks. For this one, put your heels in with your toes out and your knees far apart and bend them a lot. Try to keep your shoulders pretty level. Keep your hands in front. Roundhouse kick and then switch feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Side thrusts. 2 counts. First count, coil up high. Second count, pivot and thrust. It's like you want to do first. Right leg. Six. Well, pop. On to the thrust, you. And then back. On, you. Sorry, we're going to keep doing the same side for a little bit. 1, 2. Although it's not consistent with the way I started. 1, 2. One more. 1, 2. Now the other side. Coil. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Work out your hips a little bit again. Now you're going to do a side thrust in 1 count, and we'll switch side, 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 side. Keeping to your right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back thrusts. Do one side, then the other side, then the other side. I will be sideways and demonstrate purposes only. You're keeping straight back that way. It doesn't matter what leg you start with, because we're not hitting each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know the part at the beginning where I wanted to turn the temperature down a couple degrees? That was a good idea. Yeah, I think they disconnected it, so people wouldn't mess with it. Feet together. Apart. Left hand, left leg forward, gate of an eye. Again, a little better spirit. Counter punch up. Nice, straight, tall posture. Rotate your hips, jabbing face. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Switch hands, switch feet, other side. Look straight ahead. Nice, straight, tall posture, like your head is lifting. Straight spine. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. Let's talk just a little bit. 2. So it goes to here. 1. And goes to here. 2. 1. 2. Hey. Nice. Find a pad that you are happy with. We'll move Sensei out of the way. So we start with a counter punch. It's the easiest one to do. The one people are most familiar with. Start with your fist on the mat. Settle. So what do I want you to do? I want you to pick up your front heel just slightly and let your weight drop. And that drop is pushing on your fist. Okay? Your drawing arm, you're a little too far away. This much. Drawing arm for you too. And draw. 4, draw. 5, draw. 6, draw. 7, draw. 8, draw. 9, draw. 10. Switch feet on the side. Put your head on the back. Keep your spine straight. Pick up your front heel just slightly so the weight settles in towards the back and too far away. Drop. 1. Draw. Heel. Draw. 3. Draw. 4. Draw. 5. Draw. 6. Draw. Pressure here. 7. Draw. 8. Draw. 9. Draw. 10. Switch hands, switch feet. You're now going to do the technique, a technique that is often overlooked, and that is you're going to jab into the back. And this is what I want you to do. If you can you see me over here? Look this way. A lot of times people twist their hip and they punch, and they twist their hip and they punch, and there's just no understanding that they're supposed to be the same mechanical thing. So, John and I were just talking the other day that Funakoshi has a quote where he said, we don't strike like your Western boxers, we more thrust with the bones, drive in. And that changed the way I move and my kata application. It's good for both. But mechanically, this weight and this arm hit at the same time. Hit, hit, hit. They're the same thing. Can you kind of see it? So put your hand on there and twist your hip. Then pull it back, thrust it out. 1, heel, 3, 4, back, 5, back, 6, back, 7, 8, 9, switch hands, switch feet on the side. Same deal. Drive your hip into the bag and put your fist there. Feel where this is hitting your back of the bag. Your back, butt cheek, your back leg, hitting the back. Drop. 1. Back. 2. Back. 3. Back. 4. Back. 5. Back. 6. Back. 7. Settle down, down, down. Back. 8. Back. 9. Back. 10. Lay up for a second. Shake out your arms and your legs, or whatever you think you need to. Going to counter punch again a few times. We're going to do it like this. You're going to put your hand on the bag here, and you're twisting in and forward. You remember how this feels, and you wind up like a spring. Up, and you're going to release it, and it's going to pull you back to where you were. So I don't want you to go, okay, start here, punch. Start here, punch. It's not the same thing. Winding, 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 release. Winding, release. Back to where you came from. Okay? Put your counter punch up. Coil your forearm in, pull your elbow into your center, wind your hips up. Unwind. Up. Drawing back. In. Winding back. 3. Winding back. pressure down to the ground. Winding your hip back, winding your forearm in. Try to keep it in towards your center, in front of your hip, in front of inside of your body. Wind up, unwind. Up, in, up, breathe, up, or, up, five, up, 6, up, 7, up, 8, wind up, wants to be forward, wants to be forward, wants to be forward, 9, trying too hard, and rest. So, 18 for today is going to be every little thing counts. It matters. Every little thing. So later, when we get to kata, there are people that do kata that are, God, we've been by ourselves for a while and making sloppy, wrist moving, hip moving. It matters if you're more precise. It's more exact. It's more punching matters. More precise. Under stress, you tend to get worse, but also you will respond with the way you've been trained. So, this is why this matters. If you wind your arm up and it just sits here, your hip goes, and then your hand goes late. It's always out of sequence. If you put this in front of you, it's kind of guaranteed that when your hip gets there, your hand's going to hit at the same time. Still too far back. Nope, nope, yep. Like your elbow is on your solar plexus. Miserable, right? Because you don't like this. But as I'm coming in to hit you, you're going to drop this punch in. It's just going to be there way before I get to you. Nope, too late. You went 1, 2. But, still too late. Still too late. Now wait when your elbows fold back. So the more back here it is, the more this will happen. The wind up. Just set it so that you're going to drop it on the guy with no wind up, no warning. He won't even know that you were about to punch. So they won't be able to block, they won't be able to move. So some people that seem slow are not slow, they're sloppy. You know I'm going to do something because every time I move there's a wiggle. Some people that seem fast are not that fast. They're just here, up, and then they're there without the wind up, without the warning that something's coming. Now, if you do that and you're fast, now you got something. Then the next thing to do is pick a vulnerable time. Pick a time when they can't move. We did both hands, right? Both sides? Switch back. And then I get your left leg in front. Same deal. This is my ending position. But now I'm going to slide backwards 3 inches, 6 inches a foot. So I'm here when I'm done, and I'm going to wind up back here. So I don't say, okay, quit now. Okay, now I'm ready. Now I have to start. I'm done here. Wind up, unwind. Oh! Unwind up, unwind. Just go back where you were. You're not starting anything. Put your hand on the bag. Slide your foot back a little bit. Wind up. Like something's pulling you forward, pulling you forward, pulling you forward. Ah! Wind up. Heel. Back. Head. Breathe. Push your more. Back. More. Better. Back. 5. So some of you hit some really, really good ones. Like it was super hard, super efficient, but then the next 1 or 2 or 3 were not that good. You're back to trying too hard. So the more attention you pay to the form and the dynamic, the more often it will happen. It's like, oh, damn. Oh, no. Boom! Oh, wow, that was fantastic. I want to do it again. Oh, darn. I think one won't work. So just try to hit the good ones. And it is very important that you understand this is the ending position. All I'm going to do is pull back like you're winding up a rubber band or a slingshot. Wind up! Back. Let it drop back where it was. So, counter punch out, right leg in front. I think probably going to right side down. Left hand, right arm. Left hand, right foot. Draw back. One. Elbow in front. One. Eagle. Just foot forward. More. So you're usually winding. 8. Back. 4. Back. 5. Back. 6. So hung. Here. Let me do this. So hung is doing 2 motions to go backwards. And that's totally possible, but you're doing it badly. So you're doing 1 shift with 2 bad motions. You're here, which is good, and now somehow there's a going on. There's a stutter. Be here, be back, back, wind. Oh, I want to be that way. Oh, it just goes. If I needed 2 shifts, I would still go. Oh, I took 2 steps. Back. Oh, go back where you were. It's mental, but there's a physical preparation too. You don't want to. So here's the problem with your 2 shifts. Kyo, move. Good. Kyo, move. No, that kyo is somebody will drill you in the opening. So you want to get rid of all of those. 4 more on this side. Ready? Draw back. And back. Heel. Back. 8. Back. 4. Switch feet. So what I want you all to do right now, I'm going to use you again. Your stance faces this way. Your knees face this way, your feet face this way. I do not want you to change. Now my feet and knees point that way. This is where you were. Wind up. That way. Go. Boom. Goes right back in. That doesn't mean it's the only way. There are some people who are fantastic and standing like this and you're thinking they can't move. They're like lightning. Whoa! They'll fly in there and hit you. This is a learning tool. As you get better at the concept, you can change stances, change positions, switch feet, do whatever you want. But if you are sloppy during this part, it's not going to get better with your butt out, your knees out, and your feet facing the wrong way. It's worse. So this feels restrictive, but that's kind of the way karate is. It's like if you got somebody punching like this and they're really happy about it, and you make them stand straight and punch, like, oh, this can't be right. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, it's wrong. You can just feel it. Oh, I want to move. That's the way lots of things are if they're not right in the groove. So, what do we got now? We got our left foot in front, yeah? You're going to jab. So here's your ending position. You're going to wind up your forearm, wind up your inner thighs. 1, 2, go. Just drop it. Please don't try to punch too hard, you'll hurt yourself. You don't have to turn your fist all the way over either. I want you to protect your elbow. But if you truly wind up, just drop it. It doesn't take a lot of effort. So you got your jab in the bag. Wind up. Wind up. Heel. Wind up. You're going to let your weight drop down. 80. Down. Down, not up. Back. 4. Back. 5. Back. Okay, so here's the thing. I meant to say this before because it's true on all punches and all kicks. This pressure goes this way. So when I punch, especially from here, it's super common to want to go this way. And I'm not saying that's not strong, it can be, but it certainly misdirects your balance. You will be flying through the air very shortly. Something will take out your foot, you won't be able to switch directions. In an emergency situation, that's the only opening, yeah, jump up there and smack it. But for basic concept, you want to reinforce, reinforce, reinforce. This is going down and in, this is going down and in, this is going down and in. Not up. Harder with the jab because we don't do it a lot. 5 more on the side, left hand still forward. Get your fist on there, draw back, and make pressure down. 1, down, back, 2, down, better, back, 3, shoulder, back, 4, back, 5, switch hands, switch feet. That was better for everybody. Now to be fair too, I got to tell you one other thing. If this was your finishing blow, if this was the one that you're going to hit the guy with it and you're going to got to stick it with it, this is not your best position. It'd be a little better with your back leg out, like a back stance or Shotokan or Stipadachi. It is structurally more stable, and when shifting, Nishiyama often taught this leg can pull in behind and face this way, and then come back around and face this way. Because this is just not the world's greatest position. But you're still right now just learning a concept, and you can change it later as you go. Right leg in front, right arm on the back. Winding up. Draw. 1. Draw. 2. Draw. 3. Draw. 4. Draw. 5. Draw. If you got to bend your front arm more. Then 1. Draw. 2. Draw. 3. Draw. 4. Draw. 5. Not bad. Hey, you got your arms good. There's another couple weird concepts that matter. Again, the idea is there's not just one way that you always have to do stuff, there's different ways. So if I'm punching you from the chest, and my arm is too straight, I only have my leg shot, which might be okay, but why? You have the advantage of speed, right? So then people, okay, I'm gonna pull back here. But now, it takes a lot of time to get from here to there, and most people's bodies are not in the right position by the time they hit it. So, many years ago, there was an exercise physiologist that went to his class, and he was talking about is the last inch or two of motion in your tendons is the strongest acceleration and shock. So you'll see boxers go whack, whack, and just those little taps, and people think, oh, that's nothing. No, they're drilling them with those punches. They just don't look as big as these. And there's a trade-off. You can't build up the speed and time from here that you could from here. But you're more likely to catch a guy if you can punch effectively. So, too straight, sometimes too bent, kind of somewhere in between, and then play with it at different times and different places. You would do it differently. And I want to mention this just because we just talked about it and it's a thing lately. We think about jabbing kicks. I mean, everybody does. But, by Jesse just did this video where he has his knockout or knockdown punches to the body with a jab, which I was taught was stupid. No, weak, no point. No jab to the body, doesn't count. And then he's got videos of boxers and MMA guys and Gichin Funakoshi punch, block, whoa, he hits the guy. The guy collapses, he drops to a Stipadachi and jabs. So part of it is the structure, part of it is the body timing, they shift and hit. And part of it is the angle. If he stays straight and strong, he can take a heck of a shot. If I can bury this in and down, it buckles him much more. So, it always bothered me because I saw this in the old books and video. Why would he do that? And then they just demonstrated it over and over again. And even more of an extreme, to protect your face, he over-rotates his fist, brings his shoulder up, gets his head buried, and it might help with penetration too. But I feel like that really disconnects it. But as you're jabbing these things, it is certainly a thing to keep in mind. You don't always have to be so big. You don't have to be lifting. It's kind of in between up, and let your body weight hit it and penetrate it. Here we go. We have our what? Right leg in front? Does anybody know? We have short-term attention spans?
I think we finished jab this night. Yeah.
We did left and right? Yeah. Well, then I just gave you more information for no reason that you can use next time. Front kicks. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to put your front kick on the bag and drop this weight down and forward. Stay here so you have this down and forward. Then you're going to pull your foot back, but don't adjust this. Just leave that. And then go back to here. And then leave that. Do like 5. 5 in a row. Head up. Your head's out there. You can get away now a little bit from the bag. There you go, that's better. That's easier. Leave your support leg, pull your foot back. Kick. Back. No, twist. Kick. That's your end spot. Remember how that feels. Back. Kick. Back. Kick. Feel it's all stable, nothing wiggly. That's the idea. Switch feet after you've done 5. Down. Keep going. Head back. Not a lot. Just you have and I meant to tell everybody, I did, and we've done it before with people. This foot has to move, rotate, in order for me to extend this out, unless you're super freaking flexible or something. So that's got kind of that 30-degree angle. And I want my hip in front of my knee, in front of my foot, so I can bury the target. I want to activate the bottom of my leg. I have to remember what this feels like, so don't move it. Keep the bend. Just put your foot back where it was. Keep the bend. And it feels weird. But you're getting rid of wiggle, switch, hip, back. Wiggle, switch. It's going to be different every time. I want you to be the same every time. And then, after you get this idea, you can start here and go to here without a wiggle. We'll just go into the spot where you belong. That was very good. Your head and your arms. You can try 5 and 5 again. There you go. Back and do another kick. So remember what this feels like. How do I do this? 1, shuffle back. 2, shuffle back. 3. So I'm just practicing that same spot over and over again. I get switch feet every time. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. after you can, you don't quite know, oh my God, I can't reach the bag now. So get used to, where do I put my foot so I can hit the bag? I'm happy with that. Really, it's just going to go here. It's going to go where the other one was. Oh, pretty good. Oh, right back where it was. Not much change. But you should know that distance. Just automatically start to get it. Keep going. So don't kick the bag super hard. And you don't have to be straight 90 degrees. You could be kind of 45-ish, so you don't mess your toes up. But start slow and kick harder as you get comfortable. With your knee up, twist your hip. Up, twist. Just half the bag. Yep. Do like 5. You're going to do a roundhouse kick, and to do it, this foot and leg are going to pivot this way. I mean, never this way or further. Leave this here and just come back. Leave it. Oh, it's too far. Go back where you were. Go back where you were. Go back where you were. Drop the pressure to the floor. So you've got the same smooth repetition, as opposed to wiggle, hit, up, go. Wiggle, hit, up, hit differently. Just nice and smooth, around and back. Try at least 5, and then switch. That. Keep this. Keep your weight back. Okay, 2 more things. Sorry, I was close. The first thing is leave your weight on this foot. So after this kick, the weight stays here and your foot just reaches back. Don't kick and then put your weight here, because now this isn't active anymore. So that's going to feel like a bit of a strain. You go 1, reach. Keep your weight here. 2, and that's a rubber band you do. So that's 1. If you don't do that, do that. The second part is this hip. Try to get it to tip. Up. Up. It's going to arc the whole time. Don't do this part where you drop it down to the normal. All right, give it a try. Did not. No, it says 5. But as it happens, you're welcome to start now. We're going to take a break here in just a couple minutes. So you can take your 2 different colored socks off and put your bag down and get warmed up a little bit.
I'm sorry, I thought it's 6 p.m. to 7.
Oh, it's okay. It used to be. It could be a big mistake. It almost never happens, but it could be.
I'm sorry.
That's better. From the beginning, just a touch. So here's the thing, some of you will find this by accident. If you're in Kimadach or a back stance, this bend is the right place for your leg to lift. If this hip is already here, that's not, it doesn't work as good. So during this particular drill, see if you can pick it up along that line, and you don't have to kick hard again, but get a little earlier coil if you can. So coil your heel to your butt. Yeah, weird, huh? But see how you start? Hold together. You can just start again. Head up. One of John's favorite things to do is crescent kick. It's in kata a lot, and we never use it. So we're going to start kicking things with it. Comes up with a crescent, just like it says. It is important that you bend your knee and bend your ankle so that so here's the deal. Your leg is not structurally sound this way. It's super strong this way, but this is not. So you have to brace it with these muscles so that when you hit something, it can take a shot. Do not listen to anybody that says, oh no, it's going to be, you'll break your own leg. You'll pop a ligament. So please bend it, like the kata does. Okay. Try, start off to one side, crescent kick like 5 times. And I guess I would prefer if you did this, crescent kick, step down, come back. Crescent kick, step down, come back. You can try that. Bad news is we never do this on our left side. So switch feet over the other side and try to be patient with yourself if it doesn't go quite as well. Go slowly to start. Press it in. Boom. Yep. Then come back. Just start here, look over one shoulder, drop your weight so that it's dropping towards your foot every time you kick. Drop. You hit with your heel, drop. Do not stand up and kick. Drop. Start slow. Work your way up. Your feet are kind of together. And then we'll go over one shoulder. How's this going? At the end of class, I have to redo the thing. Maybe I'll do it with hung shorter. Everybody out. We're going to do a bunch of kata, and we're going to keep repeating hand shodan so we can follow along, because I'm sure you remember hand shodan.
I just remember my son.
That's okay. Mike, take 2 steps back. You take 2 steps back. We move in a little bit. Hand shodan. Out. Tap. Hand shodan. Boy. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. Nice. So as I mentioned earlier, all the little things count, and I find that as people move up, they develop bad habits or fail to fix bad habits in their lower kata. So I will try to point them out so it gets better. You did great. Remember that's in the shape of a capital letter I? Yeah. So that you'll know where to turn when you get down here. When you get down here, do that. Because the top of the I. You know what I'm talking about? Or no? You don't have to pretend. It's okay. It's been a long time.
Yeah. I think it's a lot.
Okay. Out. Hand shodan.
Good.
What? 1. Bring your back foot forward more, bend your leg more, have some pressure in it. Ew. Uh-oh. 1, 2. Body weight. Relax your shoulders, squeeze your knees a little bit. There you go. Body weight. 3. Every time. 1. Yeah, so don't leave that foot float out so much. Try to get a little bit more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. Get more seconds. 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1. Back stance, back stance, back stance. Way back. Back more, back more. 2. Bend your back leg a lot and let your knee point out. Yep. 1, 2. Yep. Iris. So all the stances are front stance except the last 4. The last 4 back stances. Everybody, I'll tell you when we get to the next one. So we're gonna, every other kata will come back to hand shodan. Handy down, out. Just try to follow along the best you can. Down. Handy down. 1. 1. Uh-oh. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Shorter. 1, 2, 3. Lock your shoulders. 1, 2. Back stance, more back. More back. No, you don't have to move your feet. You just have to not be 50-50, be 70-50. 1, 2. Better. 1. More narrow. More narrow. Push shorter is okay. Push your hip more that way. Push on knee. Twisting your hip that way. 2, 3. 1. Push straight that way, push that way. Yep. 2, 3. 1. Stronger. 1. 2. 1. 2. And short on 2 counts. You're going to each move in 2 counts. You're going to squeeze your body together and prepare, and then shock to do the technique. So it's going to look like 1. I prepared my feet, my knees, my arms. 2. 1. Elbows in, knees in. Finish my stance. 2. Drop. 1. Prepare. 2. During this time, I use it to teach my feet what to do sometimes. So you sometimes move from here to here, and your foot still left there. So during this time, I fix my foot and my knee, and then I go. It's a little bit cheating, but not if it becomes a habit. Then your feet just start to point the right way. Everybody get what we're supposed to do? 2 counts each move. Out, and shut on. Shut up, boy. 1, knees in, elbows in. 2, 1, squeeze, push forward from your center. 2, 1, bring your left foot all the way towards the target, squeeze your knees in, your elbows in. 2, pull this far. 1, 2, 1, elbows down, shoulders down. 2, 1, there. 2, 1, elbows in, head up, body straight. Pull. 2, 1, 2, 1, tall. 2, turn and hold. 1, 2. Just a little more sideways. 1, 2, 1, 2. Back and shoulders. 1, 2. 1. Look. Yes, stand up. Stay down. Coil and drop. Down. Almost. Go. 1. Butts up. This foot in front. More knees together. Elbows in. Hip forward. Heel. 1. Down. Heel. 1. In. Wide your butt out again. Heel. 1. Stand up. Heel. 1. Down. Heel. Back stance. More back stance. 1. Heel. 1, 2. Hey, rest. So everybody got better at that as we continued, after you started to figure out how it works together. So there's things to look for, and this is a good thing to do with your own kata. If you get halfway through any move, and you lose your, that's not right. Drive in, finish. You just glide into the target. And part of the thing is, what if the target's not there? What if they moved? Uh-oh, whoa! I have to still be driving to the target at the beginning, at the halfway, at the three-quarter point, at the end. And if people go quick, they can skip that. See, I did it. No, you went up and down and sideways. You just passed. So sometimes going slow, breaking things into 2 counts helps. Hands on down. Number 3. Kata. Hands on down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. Nice. Hands run. This time it's going to be kind of half speed, but what I want you to concentrate on is going directly from where you are to where you're supposed to be. So there is not a 1, 2, and a 1, 2, and certainly not a 1, 2. You're here, you're going to go that way. You don't have to go fast, but it has to go directly that way. Directly that way, directly that way. So your hip, in that instance, is turning towards the target, the same as your arm, but you're not going to over-rotate where you're too straight. You still end up sideways, but you also don't go 1, 2, where there's an opposite that's not in there. You're wrapping and going the same way at the same time. We will try. Out. Hand, Shotokan. Hand, Shotokan. Good. Directly to the side and drop. 1. Directly to the end. 2. This is a harder one. 1. Don't stop. 2, 3. 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1. That was 2 counts. 2, 1. That was 2 counts. It's not one fluid motion. I want you to be in one fluid motion. 1, 2, 3. 1. That was better. 2. Not quite. 1. Better. 2. Kind of. Hip. Highest. So hung be here. And you're going to go like that. 1. Better. Again. 2. You don't have to try harder, you don't have to go faster, just move. 3. Continue. 4. 1. That was 2 counts. You kind of know what I mean? Or no? Nah, it's a little bit like this whole health. So you got your left hand and left foot out and the poise would be that way. That's not your left. There you go. And you're going to do a downward block to the back of the room. You go 1. Go back. Hit the bag. 2. 1. Leg. Think about it. You're going to go 1. Better. That was better. Back. There was no waiting. You just went. 2. In between. 3. So I don't know how to tell you. Not this way. able to work, you might not, you might even wind your hip up. I don't want you to. But it goes from here to here. Whoa! One smooth, continuous action. So, there are multiple elements to each move, and it is easier to say, oh no, this is an opposite rotation angle, and that's all it is. Or it is a straight coil, plot, that's all it is. Can't be anything else. And I'm saying, no, this is maybe a circle, maybe it's circle. Oh, it can't be. Well, it can be. They're parts of the same thing. Circle. Just a little bit on the way in. You can do one thing with your arm and your body can move direct. So lots of times you have to work on a different aspect to try to smooth out or round out your technique. Hand on that. Out. Like that. Hand on. Boy. On. Heel. On. Heel. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. Heel. 3. 8. So I changed the timing there. Sometimes I change the time. It's just different. Depends on what you think you're going to do. So it is very common for us to think that everything is 1, 2, 3, 4, because other kata do that. But if I am here and he throws a technique at me and I go 1, 2, that's 1, 2. It's not 1, 2. So I went 1, 2, and then there's another attack and I go 1, 2. So my combo becomes 1, 2, 1, 2. Not 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have a different application, you can do it differently. But I like lately to try to pay attention to that rather than just doing it the way I always used to do it. Try to think about what would I do for an application. And my real problem is here, where this is the finishing blow for that, and it's a block for that. So which one do I do? Do I go 1, 2, and then 3? I feel like I'm rushing. If I go 1, 2, 3, I feel like, God, I'm just going to keep zipping from place to place. So you do have to pick a tempo and practice that for a while. But then don't be afraid to swap it and do something different, because the uncomfortableness is good for you. It's good for you to try to get better, change things. And Shotokan. Out. Kata. Shotokan. Boy. Move over that a little bit. Great. Hit this side. 1, 2. This is the only one you know. 1. Nope.
Oh,
Face that way. Your right hand, face that way. Your right hand is this note, this hand, sushi. You were right. Here. Not this hand, but way over there. Yep, it just messed you up when I was here. Go back. 1, 2, 3. 1. Moving backwards. 3 rising blocks. 1. 1. So every time you turn, go 1, 2. Go 1, go in. Doesn't matter now. 1, 2. 1. 3 good punches. Push it backwards. 1, 2. Double in. 3. Good. Good block. 1, 2. 1, 2. You are remarkably consistent. High up. There. We almost never go 1, 2 and move backwards. Or go 1, 2 and move. Don't do that. You just go in.
Quick question.
Yes?
When you train, are you using your heels or your push?
Oh, this is a constant source of argument among beginners, intermediates, advanced, and masters. They all say different things. They all have their own opinion, and there's actually 3 options: ball of your foot, heel of the foot, or the middle of your foot. Have you heard that? It's supposed to spin on the middle of your foot. That's wrong, don't do it. My answer is there is not one way. It's different depending on what you're trying to do. So, if I'm going this way, I spin on my heel and drive in, because that gets me closer to the target. If I spin on the ball of my foot, I lose that much drive. It goes backwards. Some people say that's not natural. I disagree, especially for power. It's always stronger to have your heels down for power, not always, but usually. And on the balls of your feet, it's more for speed and agility, as a general concept. There are times when I spin on the ball of my foot, especially in the middle. So let's say I'm here, and, well, this one's the heel the whole way. Oh, sorry, bad example. That was my heel the whole way. This one. Ball of my foot for the first part. It's moving towards target, heel for the second part. I'm here, ball, heel. It's the way you're going that makes the difference. So if I'm doing a spinning back thrust, I spin on my ball of foot to get me that far. I kick, then I spin on my heel to recover forward. Unless I'm doing something weird for distance or changing something, but as a basic concept, that's what I do. The spinning on the middle of the foot idea is not for spinning, it's for stepping. So if I'm standing on this big round spot, and I step forward, I can keep, I'll put your hand right there. So over there, and you're holding me. I can keep continuous, and I can keep continuous pressure this way, and yet something moved. I didn't go on the ball of my foot this way. I didn't certainly go on my heel, which you could do, but it's weird. Both my ball and heel give just a little bit right there. That's the middle of your foot. That right there. You see it? Yes. So it is a way to keep continuous drive. Something has to give. And it turns out you pivot on the middle of your bone, which kind of ends up here. So you're sometimes trying to pivot on the ball of your foot, which is why your heel always pops up. And if you're going to do your heel, you have to turn your foot first and then go, which is a thing in some kata and sometimes for throws. But it's not a good general habit, because people will say, here he comes. They'll know before you even started, because you flip your foot every time you move. So you should get used to starting this way, and then it turns depending on what you need it to do as you go. Good question, though. And it's been argued forever, and you will find experts that, no, that's totally wrong. You always spin on the balls of your feet. You know why? Because dancers spin on balls of your feet. You know what my answer is? We're not dancers. But they do spin on balls of their feet, and they do it quick on their toes, but it's a different purpose. So, there was actually, so for us ancient people, back in the 80s, there was a martial artist, Okinawan martial artist, that became a consultant to, I want to say, the San Diego Chargers, some football team in California. And he said your heels have to be down for power. And they taught their line, drive on their heels. And yet for speed, they'd be on balls so their foot moving. And the coach said, he's right. That you can measure the difference between heel down driving and ball of your foot for speed. So that's true of karate too. I just wanted to say it's not a limiting factor. So some people, you have to keep your heel down. Well, that's stupid. It's just holding you back. It's not helping. So people search for one rule that's good for always, and there's not one rule. It always changes depending on what you're trying to do. There are principles that matter. So moving through the center of your bones matters. Hitting with your body mass matters. Oh, my foot's up. That's just what it happened to be. So since I started talking about that, I'll say one more thing. And then I will quit talking so we can do more kata, because I know you're getting bored now. John, I guess. If my heel down, let's talk about a counter punch. If 7 punches even more obvious. Doesn't matter. If I keep my heel down and I punch this bag, we are non-contact. So for some reason, we think the only part we can hit with is that last little part. And most people, by the time they get there, their hip has stopped moving and their foot stops them from hitting the bag. Like an anchor, it's just holding me there. It's not helping me push. It's supposed to be driving in and forward throughout the technique. So to go to more of an extreme, if the heel down is made for close. If I have my heel up here, this doesn't help me at all. This helps. You can drive. But once he gets beyond my range, that's an anchor. Then you got to start to let it float, because I want my mass to be hitting when my hand hits, which is what I try to tell you on the mat. So here's the same distance, 3 punches, heel down, 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 heel up. Stronger, because my hip was still moving when my hand hit the back. So you could argue the center distance was different, but it's a weird development that you have to figure out eventually, that I can be on the balls of my foot and hit pretty hard. I can be flat-footed and hit pretty hard. I can be in the middle of a run and hit pretty hard. As long as you start to get the basic concept down, you'll be fine. The only thing I would say is people that give up on this too soon, waste of time. They don't ever learn to use their legs. They're just hanging out. Up, drive. Shift, drive. Now I need my heel up. Oh, I still got my leg driving. Doesn't matter what foot, what hand. Thank you, John. You did a great job. Your own kata. Out. What kata is yours?
Shotokan.
Heian. Shotokan. Move this way a little bit. Kata. Good boy. Half speed. Get used to it. Hey. Good. Uh-oh. Good. Stand up when you're done. Start over. So you're right here. 1. Keep your weight back there. Lock the shoulder. You have to punch for the middle of you. Right? So sometimes you punch it over here. Punch for the middle of you. Now, leave this out. 3. Not so much out here. More in and out. Yep. 1. There. 2. Sink into that part. Yeah. 3. Go out again. Go back. Go back to that punch. 1, 2, 3. Weird, right? You're just so used to doing that. Look that way. Toes together. Sink down in your feet. Don't bend though. Just stay straight. The shoulder can come out more. Up. Sink down. That's pretty good. That weight's on your feet. So every little change messes it up. This is out, right there. Be strong. Right there. Don't you take it too soon. Elbow out as far as you can. Go sideways and stronger up. If you were punching this way, it would be too much up. Just kind of sits right there. No, yes, no, yes. And the problem with this is it puts you, do one of them. So you go 1, 2, start over. 1, 2, 3. Oh, weak. There's nothing. It's got to be strong all the way through. So drive. Better. That's what it feels like more. And this one should be a little higher. One more time. You're all got the good spirit. Ki and ki buoyance. Out. Up. Good. So the third rising block, the ki, and the third step in punch. So I want to point this out. This can be for the camera. Hand going on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. It didn't used to be that way. Most Shotokan limbs historically had this and this, or this and this, and then they switched the feet and did this, and that was it. That was the end of the top. And you do the same thing on both sides. And I always wondered what this would be for. I have a very simple idea, and that is somebody comes up and grabs you with both hands. I'm worried that he's going to hit me with this, right? People are right-handed. So I'm going to trap this and slap him into the groin. And then I'm going to pull these apart. So he's hands them apart. Then I'm going to throw him on the ground. 1, 2. So slap, pull his arms apart, throw him on the ground. It works right away. And all the things I've tried to do, and I've tried to do lots of things where you strike and you're sweeping his foot, which you could be doing. You pull him off balance, you throw. It's weird, but it all requires precision timing. This requires whack, whack. And you're like, yeah, that feels right. I would do that. So anyway, that's an application for that. Line up, end of class. Just an informal bow, because we're over time. This is the way class should be. When we're supposed to be done at 7, and it's 5 after, and I'm not quite. In close. Yep. More. Yes, more. Now, make sure your toes are on the same line as the person to your right. So whoever on this end is correct, you just have to move. Then make sure your heels are touching. Shogun, right? Right? Thank you all for training. Class dismissed. Hey, so good job. Yay. Huh? You too. Thanks for coming, everybody.